the thumbnail, so let's see how this video goes. Let me just make sure volume's good.
It's a warm Friday evening, and after coming home from a long day at school, you see your favorite YouTubers just launched a brand new Minecraft server. With nothing else better to do, you decide to check it out. Hours go by, and you can only get a set of iron armor. No diamonds in sight. However, there's a whole faction next to you with a full set of netherite armor that could destroy your team in seconds. After feeling helpless, you then see the store. Crates promising netherite gear for just $4. You buy one. It almost lands on a sword. However, you get sugarcane. Thinking that you are so close to the desired item, you begin to buy another.
Did you guys ever play in these faction servers as a kid?
And
I know when my buddies
did.
did.
You've just fallen victim to one of the biggest illegal casinos in Minecraft history.
Is this video gonna spoil my childhood? Oh, no way, they had Vicstar in this. No. Chad, is this video gonna spoil my childhood? I gotta power through and watch it now because I'm too involved. Am I ruining it? Type in chat if you think this is going to ruin my childhood.
In today's video, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the rabbit hole of YouTubers pay-to-win Minecraft servers. What started out as me investigating servers that run like casinos on a block game ended up becoming way more serious.
Is the audio delayed on this video?
These Minecraft servers often have no ID, are run or endorsed by trusted influencers in the YouTube community. And
maybe.
Also get kids
yeah, Chad, is the audio delayed on this? Because like his voice isn't syncing up well for me. It low-key doesn't matter, but
casinos, let me show you how gambling is even possible in Minecraft to begin with.
Yeah, how do you have a casino in Minecraft?
Games has been an issue since the literal dawn of time.
Whether that's Aiden, what's up? Supra, what's up? Osprey, Mason.
Players love the fact that they could potentially make lots of money on a game they love. Essentially, like poker chips, players use.
We're 2 minutes in. I'm just gonna refresh it. Maybe I'll get the audio to work.
It's a warm Friday evening.
We're 2 minutes in.
After coming home from a worst offenders of this, with many
I think the audio is just a little off, sorry. Sorry, chat.
Through turning these harmless cosmetics into Vegas. Which is why there's a massive problem with gambling inside of Minecraft, where some server owners have reportedly made up to $25 million. And
oh my god, 25 million? Chad, how much do you think Hypixel's made? I heard someone say like $1 billion, but that might be wrong. That sounds wrong.
Are far worse than you might initially expect. But how are people gambling in a seemingly
What's up, Dynamite? What's up, Osprey?
Multiplayer servers typically offer loot boxes or crate keys, which allows players to get items that give some kind of in-game advantage. For example, you're more likely to win fights in a game if you have a diamond sword, but your opponent has a wooden one. However, server developers are also aware of this and use this as an opportunity to exploit their player base in order to extract as much.
I remember back in like 2015, like the pay-to-win Minecraft servers were so crazy, but it looked like the people in the thumbnail were more recent. I'm a little scared. I don't want to ruin my childhood, chat. I'm not trying to do that.
Insanely overpowered weapons that you can't get inside the vanilla game. In these loot boxes, players could potentially get an overpowered sword or a worthless piece of sugarcane. Then, from there, they can trade it in the community for real-life money. Obviously, with the more desirable items, players would then trade those off.
Make sure to leave a like and stream.
Making it essentially
I'm just posting this on my Instagram story.
Children. This is gambling, as players are taking a risky action in the hope of a desired result. They don't require any identification at all, and blatantly break Minecraft's EULA. So how do these servers seemingly get away with it? Well, I believe that this is because Minecraft doesn't consider it gambling at all. Which is insane because to everyone else in the room, it clearly is. And that's just not my personal
Chad, do you think that like
either.
the loot crates and the Minecraft servers are actually gambling, or is that like
would release their own case study in regards to the harms associated with loot boxes, simulated gambling, and other in-game purchases in video games. And in it, they found that children, females, males, pay-to-win gamers, and people at risk of gambling problems may be more likely to experience harm. And to make it even worse,
so they basically said everyone?
That is also more likely to lead to people ending their own life. On the 30th of April 2024, a webpage called
What's up, Dynamite Games? Oh, I said hi to you.
In relation to suicide and gambling
technically, if you spend money, yes.
Found that 50%
but like,
of
would buying
individuals
skins be the
seeking
same,
help
or is
had
it like the
suicidal
randomness?
ideation. while 17% have actually attempted to take their own lives. And that's just
yeah, I just don't really know.
Who have asked for help. Whilst gambling is its own issue,
You spend money, yes. Chat, tell me in the chat right now if you think it's gambling or not.
The target demographic of Minecraft servers, young kids, but just how young? Can you take me back to where you first sort of got into Minecraft? How old were you?
Dude, I was like 10, and I first got into Minecraft.
What happened to the horror mods? Might watch that another day. This video appeared in my recommended, and it had like Preston Playz and a bunch of big YouTubers, so I still like, but
young kids
I'm curious. I want to sit down and watch this, so I thought we'd watch it together.
Addicts, which is how casinos make the majority of their money. People know that gambling addiction is bad, but it's extremely hard for addicts to get pulled out of the cycle. They just can't live with themselves if they haven't attempted to gamble that day.
You can't talk a gambling addict out of gambling. That's not something you can do. They have to be like ready and willing. The only way you'd be able to talk someone out of it is if they're not addicted yet and they don't know that they're going down the rabbit hole. If they're like self-aware that they're gambling and they're like, oh, it's gambling, it's fine, then it's already too late.
Whilst real-life casinos are heavily regulated and less addictive than online casinos, the real-life casinos could lose their business if they knowingly allow kids to gamble in their establishments. If these regulations weren't in place, based on the information I know about how this industry works, they 100% would be doing it. So why are we not enforcing the same regulations in video games and online casinos? This is where the issue actually is. Minecraft servers and games in general seem to get away with it all. And what makes the issue worse is the massive creators that either own or promote these servers to these fan bases. Which to me is insane, because most of these guys are successful and trusted creators already. They don't need to make money off the back of this
What's up, Remote? How we doing?
How early did that exposure?
I say gambling is bad unless you're getting stuff less than $10. Well, you're getting nothing from these. That's why I can't tell.
I didn't even realize what was happening. I was just kind of like playing factions. I'd get an account banned. I'd be like, and then I'd go on like an alt, and then I'd like buy more crates, and I'd get that banned, and then I realized like, oh, I'm out of money. So I started like selling candy at my school, and I was taking credit card payments from the other students for the candy, and I actually got in a lot of trouble for this. But
Chad, do you think this is gambling?
Buy me like gift cards to MC Central.
Now that you know the truth behind how gambling in Minecraft is possible and the demographic of people doing it, why would reputable creators risk their entire reputations in order to make a quick buck on a Minecraft server? Cosmic Sky is a Minecraft server owned by the content creators Preston and Wolfless, and in my opinion, it's one of the scummiest Minecraft servers of all time. On the 25th of August,
don't come for Preston like that, bro. Wait, that's my guy.
Epic would publish a video titled "Preston Playz $25 million illegal Minecraft scam," where throughout
this been out for a while.
He would expose many of the outright unethical ways
I like Preston. What's going on?
So much money.
Anyways, the
guy's an OG.
egregious of Cosmic's monetization had to be its various gambling mechanics, but one feature in particular. Beyond loot boxes and crates, Cosmic PvP was one of the first and only
horror mods tonight, maybe.
Introduce literal slot machines. And it's not like they try to hide it either and make it
what
seem
language?
like
English.
In fact, they straight up called them slots here. Remember, this is a server which gained a lot of its player base through Preston Playz, a YouTuber with a relatively younger skewing audience. Cosmic PvP was promoting gambling to children, something highly illegal virtually everywhere worldwide. And this
What's up, Deanna? How we doing?
Gambling light we see commonly in games like loot boxes and crates, but instead casino-style slot machines. These were everywhere at the time on Cosmic. Almost every YouTuber who played the server was either given free loot boxes, crates, and slot
I watched Technoblade like every day in 2019. I watched them a lot in 2020.
Children to the server's gambling mechanics. The items in these could be some of the best on the server. Sometimes it was the only way to get a top rank, making them extremely
anti-Preston? Dude, I kind of like his videos. I mean, I don't watch him, but as a creator, I think he's good.
Money printer, and likely what enabled the server to earn a big chunk of his $25 million.
To make matters even worse, these servers were endorsed endorsed by some of the biggest Minecraft creators on the YouTube platform.
What's up,
From
Shadow
Shotgun
Music?
Raids to
Welcome.
Vigstar123, Lachlan,
Shout out the
Finstar,
channel members.
ASF Jerome, and Bajan Canadian were all seen promoting the
Broken
server
Script.
to their
If that's a
large
horde mod, we can look at it
platforms.
after.
And we're even
Like
spotted
low-key, I'd be
gambling
down.
live on their channel through the Slotbot feature that Cosmic offers.
Let's do these. /slotbot. 1, 2, 3.
But like,
Alright,
Chad,
good.
if you can't,
Give me something good here.
like sell the
We're
items you
making money
get,
here.
like I know there's the same
Go
like
on, Pat. You
lottery
know,
ticket type component, but you count it as the same as gambling.
Preston also created a channel called Preston Cosmic, where he exclusively made content on the server. I do want to be clear that these endorsements did happen 5 years ago. However, I
That's
still
def
think they
gambling.
are
How do I do a
important to
poll in
highlight. Back in
chat?
the day, Factions was at its peak, helping
Preston's
the
a great
Minecraft
YouTuber.
multiplayer
Yeah, like,
community
dude's
thrive,
cool. I don't know
and
what
these
happened.
influencers
What
found a
up,
way to
boom?
monetize that. Because of this
You guys know how to
massive
do a
push from
poll?
YouTubers
I'm on my computer
advertising,
right now.
it would do
On my
extremely
phone.
well and become a staple faction server in the Minecraft community. However, there was also its fair share of controversy. Cosmic PvP
Also,
was
if you haven't left a
extremely
like,
pay to
do that
win,
right now.
and
You
was
get free
even
nothing.
shut
It's pretty
down by
epic.
Mojang themselves, as they believed it violated the EULA. On the 27th of November 2023,
Yeah, I thought they banned loot
Mr.
crates.
Epic would publish a tweet that read,
With Cosmic Factions shutting down earlier this year and Cosmic Prisons shutting down 2 months ago,
Broken
the
Script's a good
entire
one. Okay, we'll watch the
Minecraft
one
Cosmic
after.
PvP server has now closed. If you go to their updated website, supposedly they made $25 million in revenue
Damn. 25M?
over the 10
Okay.
years they existed.
I see you. I see you,
However, now,
Preston.
this isn't
Okay.
the case. On the 25th of
What?
July 2024, one of the owners of Cosmic Sky, Rob, would announce that the server
Preston
was coming
claims
back
figuration
again
and
and
turns
is
on
still
promotes
now
gambling.
up and running.
I
Now,
don't know
I
if this
wanted
is
to see if
gambling or
Cosmic
not.
was still
Like,
doing
put in the comment
similar
section right now. Like, make an
money-making
argument
methods to
either
what they were
way.
doing, and how they were
'Cause I, like,
managing
low-key
to
don't know.
monetize the server in 2025. Maybe they've changed. Maybe they've finally decided to change monetization ethically. Well, you will soon find out they are basically ban evading and nothing has changed. If you go into Cosmic Sky's server and use the command /store, you can see that they offer different loot boxes that contain some items. Obviously, there are some more desirable than others. Nowhere in the server or in the store does it list the odds of the server's items. Even regular pay-to-win servers
Broken Script
that
is
promote
banned?
gambling
Wait.
do this. Whether they're
Why is it
accurate or
banned?
not is a
I don't wanna
different
watch something that's
story,
banned.
But Cosmic Sky doesn't seem to have them anywhere. However, one thing I will give Cosmic Sky credit for is this tiny disclaimer at the bottom of the store that reads, "Please make sure you are above the age of 18 or ask a parent before purchasing a rank or package," which comes after "We won't refund you" and "No fraudulent purchases." Now, I wanted to see if Cosmic
Well,
Sky
no
also
fraudulent
used some
purchase-
kind of
yeah, I
regulatory
assume so,
system
right?
that required you to show ID. After all, they want to make sure it's parents buying the items, right? Not children. And, well, to no one's surprise, you don't need ID. A lot of young kids these days won't know any better than to either use their own pocket money or just straight up
It's not
steal their
inappropriate,
parents'
just
credit
people
card
that were
and try to
playing
get
got
the items they
malware.
want.
That's not
However,
good.
it's rigged behind a paywall.
Like he
with
said, some
gambling-like
people were actually
mechanics.
selling the stuff
let's
they
be real
got.
here, this
There-
looks and functions like a slot
Yeah, but is it
machine.
easy
You could
to?
get
Was
a
it like
really
CS:GO
powerful
level,
item,
or what are we
like
talking?
A netherite sword or a netherite chest plate.
It's hard to
However,
explain.
These servers don't just want to give that out, as they're optimized to
Let
make
me-
as much money
let
as
me
possible,
look it up a little bit on
without
my phone,
caring how
Broken
it affects their
Script.
users mentally or if it's even legal.
Yeah, do you reckon content creators, especially with younger audiences, should have more of a responsibility on
Minecraft's
making sure their
banned,
servers
ooh.
are ethically monetizable?
Calvin
Well, I
made a
mean, in an
video?
ideal world, yes, they should.
Oh, that's
At the
kinda
end
cool.
Of the day, if they're running their
I watched
server as a
Calvin video,
business,
he's funny.
then They should probably.
I used to
do
chat with
whatever
Calvin
is
like
possible to make
one.
as much money as
Calvin knows
possible,
who I
like
am
said. So
from like way
a
back in the day
situation
when I
where
used to do all that
if-
Minecraft
would
stuff.
a server owner and a content or a
Either
content
way,
creator
it's still
choose
gambling on
ethics
some
over
sort of
making
level.
more
But do you think
money?
it should
And I
be
guess,
like
I said,
allowed?
this comes down to
Like
their own ethical
even
principles.
if
So I
you're
think
like not
maybe,
sure
yeah,
if it's
they should,
gambling, do you
but
think it
I
should be
don't blame
allowed?
them for
Like
not
chat,
doing
put
so.
in the comment section what
These
you think
kind
on
of
that.
tactics are exactly what casinos use to retain customers. A large portion of their
I'd
revenue
watch the
also
Calvin
comes
one.
from these addicts.
He made
to fully
one.
understand how detrimental
He's a
this
cool
can
guy, I like
be,
him.
I
I
called
haven't
the
spoken to
content
him
creator
ages,
the
but
Duper Trooper,
I don't think I've
and
ever
asked him how this
DM'd,
issue has impacted
and he's
him.
like
For
mentioned me on
further
stream a few
context,
times.
the Duper Trooper started playing Minecraft when he was just 11 years old and started on a
Connor
server
Pugs,
called
what's
MC
good? Favorite
Central
YouTuber?
Factions.
Who's
And
your
is still
favorite
facing
YouTuber?
a gambling addiction to this day.
I like
But it's
watching
all just a
stock
simple
videos from
plot
Martin
game,
Shkreli,
right?
but
It
that's
can't be that
totally
damaging.
unrelated.
Did getting
Favorite
used to
YouTuber?
gambling in Minecraft
I think
lead to any
Technoblade's
other
probably up
problems
there.
with gambling
I used
outside of
to
the game?
watch Pyrocynical all the
Yeah,
time in
100%,
2016
So,
with his commentaries. Or 2018, I'd watch his old
very
commentaries.
overlapping, I got into CS:GO gambling right after.
Probably
because
those
that was
guys are up
kinda,
there.
like,
I'm missing a
something
few,
lot of the
but
people in the faction scene were into, and like the pay-to-win crate key scene, whatever. A lot
wish I
of
could
it
figure out how to
CS:GO
do a
gambling, so
poll.
I tapped into that because I started playing CS. And CS:GO gambling is basically just real
Wait,
world gambling.
Shadow,
so you
can you do a
sell those
poll as
skins
a
for
mod
money,
or
you can
no?
buy them. And even in MC Central, you could sell the skins for money, you could buy them. So it was a very similar concept, except CS:GO was easier to cash out real money. And so
Chat, put a 1 in chat if you
better.
think these servers
And
should
so
be
the
allowed,
crate
and put a
keys
2
kinda
if you don't think they
indoctrinated me into
should.
thinking this was all okay.
And put a
by the
3 if you
time
don't
I
know,
was
but 1 if you think it's
13,
okay, and
12
2 if
years
you...
old, something like that.
1 if
I
you don't
tapped
think
into
it's okay,
Counter-Strike
they should
gambling,
not be allowed.
and
2
that's
if
when
you
it
think
really
it's
started
fine.
to spiral
Even if
out
you
of
don't like it.
control.
How
If
much
you just think it
money
should be
would you
allowed.
say you've
Big
spent
difference.
on gambling related things since Minecraft?
You want me to say my spent or my lost? Because there's
Probably
difference
your
between
spent.
like wager amount
Did I
and
switch those
lost.
up?
How much have you spent and then how much have you lost? We could do both.
Spent, I have no idea. I know a rough number of how much I lost, and I do not want to publicize it, but I'll DM it to you. And I don't even want you to. I don't want this to even be blurred out. Like I'll show you, but that's the amount lost.
That's crazy, bro. Now you know about the importance and the real impact.
I'm so curious now
this
what
issue
the actual
has.
amount
Let's
was.
talk about the YouTubers Skeppy and Loverfella. Both of these creators are
No, not
massively
Skeppy.
successful,
What?
with a combined
No.
subscriber count of roughly 9.28
No.
million and 2.7 billion views.
I actually
However,
spoke with
despite their
Loverfella
massive
once in a while on
success,
Twitter
they still
back in the
feel
day.
need to run Minecraft servers that also promotes gambling to children. Skeppy's server
I don't think I can do that.
Invaded
Yeah.
Worlds is promoted
I don't know how to
directly
do
in
it
the
personally.
description of his videos. Their server store also sells crate keys. Whilst these seem like good prices where you could get them for a few dollars, the problem is when it adds
Can we just
up.
do 1
Wouldn't
for
you be
good and
more
2 for
likely to
bad?
spend
I
more
totally
money on
forgot
something
what
if
I
it was
did,
cheaper?
which one was good, which
Especially
one was
if you
bad.
think you're so close to getting the item
Oops.
that you want. These crate keys literally just look and act like slot machines. However, Skeppy's server doesn't just limit itself to these slots. They also had a controversy surrounding fake sales. On the 31st of December 2023, Minecraft creator Z-Man1064
Fake sales?
published a video titled Exposing Skeppy's
No.
Minecraft server, where in
Not
the video
Skeppy.
he would showcase Skeppy's
No,
server using
dude.
a fake sale. If you're unfamiliar with
I
what
gambled
a fake
since I
sale
was
is,
4?
I'll let
Wait,
Z-Man
what?
explain it to you.
For those of you who don't know what a fake sale is, let me give you an example. Let's say I'm trying to sell you this apple and it's $5. Now let's say you guys say, no, I don't want to buy this apple for $5. Now imagine if I then said, but the apple was $10 and now it's $5. It's on a 50% off sale. Most people probably still wouldn't buy a singular apple for $5. However, some people would buy that apple for $5 because
Yeah, it's a
in their
fake
mind,
discount.
they're thinking, oh wow, it's 50% off.
It's like
And
standard
even
marketing. It's
Some
like-
people might buy 2 apples because they think they're getting 2 apples for the price of 1.
That's
when in reality,
price
there
economics.
was no sale to begin with. It was all
Yeah, it's-
fabricated.
Well,
for the
well,
sake
yeah,
of
that's
trying
very
to sell
standard, like,
something.
marketing
A marketing
tactic.
strategy. The problem with this marketing strategy
I think you
is
can
that it's
easily make a
illegal.
poll by
It's
checking the
deceptive
3 dots
business,
in
it's
the
illegal,
chat box.
It's social manipulation.
I
in a
don't
way.
I don't see
doesn't
that
make
on
any
my
sense to me
phone.
at all.
Maybe I'm not
These
updated or
creators are
something.
trusted influencers in the space. They are already successful. Why risk your reputation in order to promote gambling to kids? It just doesn't make any sense. Subsequent to Z-Man calling them out, the fake sale has since been removed. And to make matters even worse for Skeppy, this wasn't his first rodeo, as he had another server called Skittles MC that was also called out for being extremely pay to win.
What?
Loverfella's server
No.
also has very similar issues.
That's Skeppy
However,
too.
His rates
Oh,
are highly
bro.
overpriced and his audience is arguably even younger. His
Yeah,
server
actually,
has also
screw the
been
number
targeted
system.
multiple
Just
times
say
by
good
these
or bad in
anti-pay
chat
win
right now.
creators.
Good or bad.
However, despite their best efforts, almost nothing has changed. Now, if it feels like so far, I'm putting a lot of the blame on content creators for this issue, you are totally right, and that's how you should feel. In my opinion, if you're a content creator and you attach your name to a brand, you need to do due diligence in what it is. After all,
What about
if a kid
Grox?
sees their favorite Minecraft YouTuber
I don't know
on
who
a
Grox
server,
is.
chances are they will be influenced to go on it
Okay,
as well.
good but
as they
bad,
won't
bad, bad, bad.
understand
Okay,
full
seems
what's
like
going on.
sentiment is
Here's how the
bad.
marketing funnel for these companies work. It starts
You can
off
also
with
say,
fans
like,
seeing
I don't
their
care.
favorite YouTuber
Like, that's also
promote their
valid.
server, then they try to level up by playing. but there's something them from their progress. They see that the items they need are only $2, but then they realize they're so close to getting an item they want.
Good, I love
so
gambling.
they end up buying
Rocks
another
mentioned?
and
Who's that?
another and another. I also want to be clear, throughout this whole investigation, pretty much everyone on the anti-pay-to-win community agreed to do an interview and speak out.
His
However,
views are
it was
insane.
a lot harder to even just get a comment from
probably
these
made like
servers and
$3
the
million
owners,
just
or
by
just
looking at
any
those views.
representative. Probably because it's not in their best interest to do so. However, on the 2nd of May 2025, I got my first breakthrough. I joined the Cosmic Sky Discord and created a general ticket saying, "Dear Cosmic Staff, I am currently working on a documentary going over the Minecraft multiplayer community and was wondering if a representative for the server would be interested in a recorded interview."
I remember last time we asked you about Broken Script. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to watch it after this. I just, I didn't know what it was at the time. I didn't want to watch anything that was going to get me flagged.
Add me on Discord and we can discuss further. Kind regards, Parallax. And to my surprise, the owner of the server, Rob, actually claimed my ticket. To make sure I didn't mess up this opportunity and
actually
help the community
accepted?
get answers to
That's
some
like low-key
questions,
surprising, I'm
I
not gonna
workshopped
lie.
the questions with the Mr. Epic, who has heavily reported Cosmic's unethical and alleged illegal practices. And to my surprise, he did answer them.
Do you consider the slotbot system a form of gambling? And why or why not?
No, we do not.
Definitely gonna say
Every
no.
ticket gives the player an in-game item and built-in credit value. There is also never a cash-out option for money. Bot tickets can be obtained within gameplay and do not require a purchase from our store.
Many of your RNG monetization mechanics, such as loot boxes, do not have their odds listed for their potential rewards, despite that being required by the usage guidelines for such mechanics. Why have you chosen not to list them?
We give players clear, common-sense rarity bands like normal loot versus jackpot loot that match their in-game experience and have never purposely misled
I don't think these
players.
replies are
We
bad.
understand that there
Like,
is
you can
always room
disagree
for
with it, but the
improvement on this, and
replies
our team will
seem
continue
pretty
to
good.
work on ensuring clarity for our players.
In the past with Cosmic Sky, prior to initially shutting down, the server was blacklisted by
Have you seen any
Mojang
Minecraft
enforcement
RGs?
for
I think we watched one
CosmicSky.com.
on last
Why
stream.
was the server
ARG, sorry.
blacklisted? And why did you choose to instead bypass the blacklist using the Cosmic client rather
Grok
than
says
becoming
weird stuff with
compliant?
The
sticky
Cosmic
sheep
Climb is already
piston.
in development to improve gameplay and overall
LOL.
experience for our players, and we kept pushing it for those same reasons.
What are your opinions on the large IRL trading culture on the server? Do you believe that alongside mechanics such as /CF, this is enabling players to proxy gamble real money?
We do not and have never supported any form of IRL trading. It was a bannable offense for the majority of Cosmic's lifetime, however, bad actors were taking advantage of players. Making it public has created a
Yeah, I mean,
community-run
IRL
trust
trading's a
system
problem
that
on
has
most
reduced the amount of
Minecraft
scams and
servers.
bad actors significantly. We do not, in any capacity,
Like,
interact
iPixel
with any
has,
IRL
what's it
trading
called?
and never will.
What was the primary
you
reason
can buy,
for
like,
releasing the new
ranks
celestial
and
rank
skins
in
and
a
stuff. I
limited
know it's not
flash
random
sale,
or like
instead
that
of it being
type, but
purchasable through typical means like other ranks?
It's something we started with the Interstellar rank years ago, a short-run premium rank that creates excitement without flooding the server. Limiting supply keeps the rank special, drives player engagement, and actually reduces our total sales. A trade-off we accept because it puts our player experience first.
As you can tell, they weren't really satisfactory and merely passed on the blame to someone else or were just dodged entirely. Now, one of the dodges that stuck out to me the most was the question where I asked him why Cosmic was previously shut down, and instead of becoming compliant with the EULA, why choose to ban evade with the client? And while Rob said they were already developing it anyway, completely dodging the full question, we still
Treeman,
don't
you want
know
a shout
why
out?
Cosmic was originally banned. So now you've heard from the server owners, you may be wondering, is it the creators running the server or not? On the
I should
6th
just
of
stream you
March
playing Fortnite,
2024,
Will.
one of the biggest influencers in the world, iShowSpeed, would launch a Minecraft server of his own. Whilst it ended up looking promising initially, it ended up completely failing. The server was very pay to win, had
What?
loot crates, overpriced ranks, and the ability to buy unbans from the server. However, iShowSpeed wasn't really involved in the development behind the server, and simply was used as the face of it. Which, keep in mind, this doesn't make Speed innocent as he's still the one promoting it, but there is still less blame on him. A similar situation happened with one of my friends Zenith, who started one of these servers in the December of 2024, but it was later shut down due to barely being able to make a profit. Zenith MC was a Minecraft
Yeah, those
server
Minecraft
where
servers
viewers
are
could
low-key
play
really
certain
expensive
games
from
that
what I've
Zenith
heard,
made
and
in
like
his
really
hardcore
stressful to run.
series. However, unfortunately, it was
My
also
buddy
very
Alex
pay
used to
to
do one
win.
back in the day,
After being called out
where he
by
just told me
Takeout
that.
on
Who
Twitter,
knows?
the server
I believe
was
him though.
seemingly shut down. So I wanted to ask him why.
I want to start it off sort of where it started. What made you want to start Zen FMC?
Well, it just
No,
sounded like a
not
really cool
speed,
idea to turn
no.
my builds into game modes that my viewers could play, and it would also be like hopefully another like revenue for me.
Were you aware of the gambling-like mechanics or pay-to-win elements before the server went live?
I was aware of the pay to win, and I thought it was okay since so many games and so many servers I knew were pay to win. Like the most successful games of all time were a lot of them are pay to win. I didn't think it was a huge problem back then, but
Yeah, also like so many games are like this.
I've learned
Like that's not a bad point.
from my mistakes.
Was the
Anything like
shutdown
5
decision
pixels super hard to
based on
maintain, the same
the
logic
moral
applies to.
responsibility
Yeah, I
or
mean,
the financial
such a
failure
headache.
of the
I would
project?
like. It just seems like I would never want to do that in a
Definitely
million
more
years.
of the moral, because it was just way too stressful to run a server that I didn't support, and I didn't want to run a server like this. I don't think I would make, if I made like millions from it, maybe I would just disappear and but no, I would hate that. I don't want to, I wouldn't want to run a server like this.
Do you have a message or advice to any other creator that might want to make
I
a
don't play
server of
Roblox.
their
Is it pay to win?
No, that's a tough question. I don't think you can make a lot of money from servers if you want to be morally okay with it.
Whilst we know about
Yeah,
the
it seems like a
YouTubers
bad
that
business
endorse
model,
these servers,
TBH.
with every culture, there always seems to be a counterculture. And recently, creators going against this movement
Sometimes,
have begun
is it pay to win?
surface. Throughout the past week, I've spoken to the Duper Trooper, the Mr. Epic, and Z-Man 1064, some of the most reputable creators in the niche, to better understand what their issue with this
I always
pay-to-win
imagine,
model
how does
is.
Uncle
And
Dane
it's
keep
not
his server
necessarily
active for
with
so
these
long? It's
pay-to-win
made by one
servers
guy.
themselves.
I don't know how those
So
people
I
do it.
understand that servers have to make money. I understand hosting can be a little bit
Roblox
expensive.
is not pay to
but
win. Well,
there
sometimes it's
definitely
user
is a
generated. I thought you could make a lot of money in
Goldilocks zone that
Roblox,
can
like
be
you made
reached.
something.
A nice
That might just be Twitter, though.
balance where servers can make enough money to run. You don't need to be greedy and
Roblox
make
more pay to win than Fortnite.
millions of dollars, okay? You will have a way more successful business model of customer satisfaction and fair pricing and fair gameplay than you will with whatever these servers are doing. And gambling should just not be allowed in
Try to guess your
games
favorite
at all,
animal?
I don't
Ooh,
think.
you gotta give me
Any
a hint. I
game
just
a
can't
kid
guess
has
a million
access
animals.
to, there shouldn't be gambling.
I mean, maybe I
So
could,
what sort
but
of
you know.
servers are you targeting at the moment, and how do you like go about finding them?
So going about finding them is really easy. I have a bunch of people DMing me with like all the servers, like you should dupe on this, you should dupe on this, you should dupe on this, and then I'll look into them and I'll be like, okay, whatever. The only servers that I'm targeting right now, while I believe that pay to win is bad, I am fully focused on targeting servers with gambling and trying to get them to remove the gambling. Because while pay to win is a predatory business practice, and in a perfect world it wouldn't exist.
So what about like FIFA loot crates
the gambling is
or
what
anything
gets
loot
people
boxes?
addicted and what
Would you also
causes
say that
these
stuff's
huge
like not
problems
okay?
that
I mean, I personally don't
have dealt
care.
with personally, and I just want to try to avoid that as much as I can at the moment. So that's what I'm doing. If a server has pay to win crate keys and stuff that you can like gamble with, then I'm targeting them.
So do you also think that your server contributes to the problem that you've tried raising awareness for?
Well, if the problem is just pay to win, then you could argue that. But the issue is that if you want to see actual change in the Minecraft server ecosystem,
I don't think there's any
advocating
problem with
for
pay to
all servers
win.
remove
It's
pay
annoying,
to
but
monetization
it's not the same
won't
like
actually achieve the change. So in a way,
randomness
the people
gambling that people have
advocate for
issues
all
with.
removal
I also
pay
don't
to
care
win are
about the loot
actually doing the
crates. I'm
contrary
just
of what
watching
they want
this.
to do, because they're advocating for an unrealistic change that servers can't make. So to me, when I realized that being non-pay to win was like not a way to I should say, making servers remove all pay-win monetization was not a way that they would actually make changes, then I realized, hey, if I want to see change, I should advocate for something realistic, which is why I now advocate for just removal of pay-to-win gambling.
This is where I believe majority of the public gets it wrong. Most people believe that these creators only target pay-to-win servers. However, their main focus is on the servers that promote gambling to young kids, a feature that is explicitly against Mojang's terms of service. but for some reason these servers get away with it. Essentially, it seems as though they do have issues with gambling if it's based on something you'd find in a real-life casino, and they have taken action on this in the past. However, Minecraft servers use things like loot crates to say that they're
Found
not
far
gambling
from the
at all,
equator.
which also correlates with what the Duper Trooper told me.
If Minecraft implemented regulation more on gambling and loot box style systems, like you had to show ID for these kind of things, how different would things be?
It would change it a bunch. Like, a lot of these casinos are operating with no KYC systems. Even a lot of crypto casinos are operating with no KYC system using
Polar bear?
Cyprus or Cabal or whatever the other country is. They're using gambling licenses from there where they don't require players to show IDs, and they're running illegal casinos in the United States. And that's I would consider these Minecraft servers to be under the same category as those. So it's not something that Mojang can implement. Two, it's not something that they want to implement. Based off of the things that I've read behind the scenes, it's not something that's ever gonna be like on the table. It's up to server owners to implement that, and they're never going to implement that because that would drastically decrease profits.
However, if there's one thing that the anti-pay-to-win creators hate outside of the gambling on Minecraft, it's the content creator eTurbo. eTurbo is a content creator who has started his main channel in 2022 and has had many accusations thrown at him by many other creators in the space, mainly spearheaded by Z-Man1064. From basically ripping off other creators' thumbnails to abusing YouTube's copyright system to even insinuating that another creator was a PDF file. eTurbo is clearly hated by a
Minecraft
lot of
moment.
these anti-pay-to-win creators because he comes across as someone who's inauthentic to the cause. However, possibly one of the most hypocritical allegations out of this by far was when eTurbo was spotted endorsing a pay-to-win server made by the content creator DeQuavis. On the 1st of October 2024, the Duper Trooper would publish a tweet stating eTurbo was recently spotted endorsing a pay-to-win server that promotes gambling to kids and is owned by a recently exposed racist, transphobic, and homophobic YouTuber. eTurbo is aware of these facts as he publicly defended the YouTuber in question. If you want further proof that it was actually him requesting to join the team, here's a screenshot of him asking if he fits the requirements to join the media team. And here's the screenshot of him openly defending DeQuavis as well. This can essentially ruin eTurbo's brand and career if he was spotted endorsing the very thing he swore to destroy. He's also had allegations of faking videos where admins of the server would help
Is that the guy who's
eTurbo
playing
with the
Dream
filming
all the
of his
time?
content. However, obviously eTurbo denies doing this. Hi everyone, it's me from the future here. As I was editing this video, I managed to get in contact
the guy who's
with
playing with Dream
eTurbo
now.
to ask him some questions about
Whatever,
the
I'm
allegations.
not getting into that.
Firstly, my biggest issue with eTurbo throughout this was the endorsement of a server that promotes gambling to children. And well, after confronting eTurbo, he denies ever endorsing the server. After asking him about the accusations, eTurbo states that he never endorsed anything, and that they used a screenshot before the server even existed as proof to try and paint him as a villain. According to eTurbo, the screenshot of him asking for media rank was in regards to DeQuavis' public Discord server, not his Minecraft server. He also claimed that it was taken out of context. As of now, the 19th of May 2025, the beef between eTurbo and the Duper Trooper has officially ended, and they have settled their differences in a private call. This video was made before all of this happened, so I just thought I'd quickly update you all. Anyways, back to what I was saying before. However, it's not just this endorsement that eTurbo was also called out for. There was also allegations directed at him that accused him of running a dupe shop. Essentially, when Minecraft players dupe items on these servers, the intent is that they are then distributed out to the community as a way to crash the server's economy and make it so players don't have to spend money on these overpriced items or gamble with a loot or crate key. In this case, dupe finders and eTurbo were working together to distribute these items. But instead of giving it out
What's
to
your
the community
username,
for
Minecraft?
free,
My Minecraft
eTurbo was
username
trying
is
to
Connor
use his
Pugs.
influence in the community and profit off the duped items. At that point,
I don't
they
really
may
play
as well be
Minecraft that
running
much,
the
though.
server. On the 11th of April 2025, Z-Man1064 would publish the first episode on his content cop-inspired show, Content Lawyer, where he would showcase many of the allegations and evidence he had against eTurbo.
We start off our story today with the opening.
We'll watch
of
the broken script after this. I'm down.
Dupe shop. eTurbo attempted to sell dupes in his Discord server He attempted
Too
to do
scary?
this with a collaboration
Nah, we got
with
this.
Bubbled and Lefty Dupes. eTurbo
When the
claimed
video's done, like
that
10
he was
minutes,
going to
remind me.
pay
I'll throw
the
it
dupe
up.
finders for their time and for the dupes that he would be selling on his shop. This turned out to be a lie. This screenshot provided by the Duper Trooper shows Duper Trooper asking Lefty if eTurbo offered them money in exchange for the
Steam
dupes
Deck, what's that?
eTurbo was going to sell. He did not offer them a penny. So what eTurbo was trying to do was he was taking dupes that were given to him so that he could go on pay-to-win servers and crash them, dupe on them, etc. Mainly duping. He went on his server and tried to sell these dupes that were being given to him for free under the assumption that he was going to turn them into YouTube videos
For what,
that
like
were
20
going
bucks?
to destroy
Bro.
pay-to-win servers. That
Following the video,
You make a lot more money if you
eTurbo
made that into a
would make
YouTube video than
statement
selling
in an attempt to
that.
defend
You
his
dumb?
image by saying, although I did used to associate with the Quavers, I never endorsed nor promoted his server. I had media
Bro,
but
isn't
that's
that the
only
guy that
because me
Dream
and
is
the
like making
Quavers were
videos with
friends during
now?
this
Like I don't
time.
really
So he offered it to
like
me,
follow that
and I
hard,
said
but
yes
like
to
isn't
be
that the guy?
nice, which is very
Or am I tripping?
contradictory to the pro-found of eTurbo asking to join the media team. When I reached out to eTurbo for comment on the allegations, he denied wanting to do a debate with Z-Man as it would make him look worse, and that Z-Man would try and quote click farm him. He also sent me this document over in an attempt to defend himself from the allegations.
Someone
However,
released the
these were
Minecraft
debunked
movie in
on a
its entirety
3-hour
on
live
YouTube. That's
stream
gonna be
by
up for
Z-Man.
literally
If you
3
want to
seconds.
watch
I'm
or
telling
read
you.
any of the
It's gonna be down in 2
documents
seconds,
for
dude.
yourself, I've provided a link to all
I
of my
cannot watch that on
sources in
stream,
the
even for a
description
second.
below.
I'll get
I've also
so
spoke
cooked.
to Z-Man further in an interview talking about the beef between himself and eTurbo, and here's what he had to say.
Interview you was in relation to another content creator in your space called eTurbo. So you recently
I thought this was gonna be like a
exposed
Skeppy
him
and Preston
in your
video.
content lawyer
What happened?
series, and
That's
he
where it
turned
got
out to be a
interesting.
fraud. What kind of like tipped you off
I
initially?
mean, the video's
about
very
eTurbo?
good. It's just getting really
Well,
niche.
I always kind of figured that he was weird.
It was released
He
12
offered
hours ago.
it
Well,
with
watch
how
it while
he
you
was
can,
acting in
and
the beginning.
it's not
I
gonna be
was
up there for
friends with
long.
him. I wouldn't say good friends with him, but I was definitely acquainted. We had made a video together before. Obviously, he wanted to jump on because we both blew up at the same time, but I actually like was performing better, so obviously he wanted to jump on the bandwagon. And it was obvious from the day one that he's just
You
in
like
this
anime?
for the money and the subs and the plaque.
I don't really watch it.
And
I liked,
it's despicable. He's done despicable things. He's done things I can't
What's
say
it called?
on here because the people I had working for me are stupid.
What's
and they
Death
couldn't
Note?
get
That
this
was actually
proof,
really
but
fire.
there's-
I don't like anime
I
like
almost
that, but
got
that was
proof of
fire.
him doing something so despicable to me. I can't reveal it, but like all I can say is eTurbo is actually this is just what I believe. Genuinely, he's evil. He's an evil guy. He does this all for his own personal gain. I think he might be a sociopath, personally. So I always got that weird vibe from him.
He glazes Death Note in all of his
And,
vids. Who's he?
You know, just over the last few months, we've just
Bro, I think I
compiled
mentioned
all
it
this
once.
stuff, and then I teased I'd make a video,
Ultimate,
and in response, he dropped this
ultimate
60-page
mind
document
bot. What's
or
up,
something
bro?
like that.
How we doing?
And I went through it on stream after I did the content lawyer. It's on my live channel, actually. The full uncut recording of the stream. I read through it. It's just nonsense. He wrote it so long to depend on people not reading it all the way through and just assuming he was innocent. If you read through it, it is filled
Broken
with
script's
straw
insane.
mans
All right,
and
we'll watch it after this
oxymorons.
video.
He
We got
contradicts
like 10
himself
minutes.
multiple times. There's a few things he even admits to doing. He admitted in his own document to commenting on people's stuff on other accounts or commenting on his own channel on other accounts. I think a lot of the comments,
Yeah, we'll watch
the
it after.
positive comments he gets
What's up, Sean?
are just him on alt accounts. Which is like, this is sad. It's sad. And the fact this guy is almost at 100K is like, it's just, it shows how much YouTube as a platform, how much the bar has just been lowered.
The
Like,
lore
you
is
could
more
just
insane than the
post
gameplay.
yourself taking a dump and people will somehow
Disturb you for 2
subscribe.
days is a Minecraft thing. I'm
Like-
kind of worried now.
It doesn't make any sense. If you ask me, I think botting might be involved. He's like gotten botted before, and he always claims it's someone else. Like, why haven't people botted me? He did.
he did get botted over 100K. I think so this is just my personal opinion on that.
We'll watch
I
Broken
don't have
Script
proof,
after. It seems like it's
obviously.
pretty popular.
This is just what I saw.
Maybe I
that,
should have done a
and
whole stream
my
around
first
that.
thought was he's just doing this. He's doing all
MLC
this.
J Tech
This is all
TV's
him.
horrible Doom
This is
2016
all
gameplay.
done deliberately.
No, I don't
He
really
left
watch
his own
that
docs
Doom.
on Docsman deliberately. He left it up so he could play victim. We tried to get it down for him way earlier, and he refused, and that led to damage that I'm not even aware of.
Yeah, I'm down to watch
so
it
far
after.
In this video, we have uncovered creators who run these gambling servers, Mojang not doing anything to enforce them, and anti-pay-to-win creators literally supporting the cause they are supposed to be against. How on earth do we fix this issue? Well, meet Kian Bros. Kian is currently representing a group involved with a class action lawsuit against Mojang in Sweden. He started out as a developer who then decided to launch a Minecraft
They're suing
server
Minecraft?
similar to one him and his friends used to play on. However, as he was developing the server, he was made aware of emails from other Minecraft servers saying he can't have any guns on the server, and learned about a bunch of shady stuff happening behind the scenes. Essentially,
Wait, chat, are they suing Minecraft or am I being baited?
Openly breaking their EULA, but seemed to be in cahoots with Mojang so they could still operate. Essentially, through hidden clauses, servers are allowed to operate with gambling-like mechanics through the form of loot boxes and crate keys. Kian sent me the clause related to gambling, and it stated that crate keys and odd-based rewards are generally compliant if they are cosmetic items, they don't give an in-game advantage, perks are disabled in PvP areas,
I'm out of
and
water.
the keys are obtainable without
Brutal
the need
chat.
of a
You hate to
purchase.
see it.
However, this is very contradictory.
Bro, I think my
to
Stanley
Mojang's
Cup
usage
playoff bracket is
guidelines,
going to
where
be
they say
broken
that
last
there's
minute.
no
There goes
gambling
$100.
allowed at all in
Hate to
their
see it.
game. But the problem
GGs.
doesn't just stop there. In Sweden, you need a license from their gambling authority to be able to run any forms of gambling. However, they are very strict when it comes to giving out licenses. In fact, with the CSGO community, the Swedish gambling authority took action against the company CSGO Empire, and they would never want children to be gambling. In fact, if you go to their website, they consider skin betting gambling. On their website, they state, many children and young people today play computer games where they can buy or get so-called skins. Skins are virtual objects that can be resold on various platforms for money. There are also websites where so-called skin betting or skin gambling occurs. Their skins are used as bets or winnings in games that are decided by chance, and therefore can be considered gambling. The Swedish Gambling Authority has issued several bans on operators who engage in skin
bro. I'm
betting.
watching after
It
this
is
video.
illegal
Don't worry.
for operators without the necessary Swedish license to target games at Sweden. For example, the game is considered to be targeted at the Swedish market by the fact that the website has information in Swedish, payment can be made in Swedish
Yeah,
currency,
Sean,
or
I
the company
should remove the
markets
Discord link.
itself
I don't
to
use it
Swedish
anymore.
consumers. However, Mojang seems to get away with
When
this
it got
all
too crazy.
as a Swedish
Got too
company.
crazy in there.
On the 4th of December 2024, Kian would upload a pretty infamous video within the Minecraft community titled "Suing Minecraft because they broke the law and pissed me off." This video immediately began to gain traction and now
Suing
sits at
Minecraft,
3.6 million
dude?
views
Am I being
today.
chat?
In
Am I
the
being
video,
trolled?
Kian showcased many of
What's
the
up,
problems he
Michael?
had
How we
with
doing, bro?
Mojang intentionally breaking their contract with the original terms of service and certain practices that could be considered illegal.
End user license agreement, they specifically state twice that any form of gambling, be violence, terrorism, or other unsafe and mature content is strictly forbidden. Which totally makes sense, but what if I told you
Wait,
that
why
the
is this a
gambling part
Minecraft
was
problem?
a lie? You see, in
Am I
Minecraft,
just,
when
like,
you look at any of the biggest servers, you'll quickly notice a
stupid?
recurring pattern in their shops. They have something
might be
called
the
crates
case.
and crate keys. These keys are used to play lotteries inside of the game that have a
Hold
chance
up,
to
you
give
still
you
upload?
extremely overpowered items or
Yeah,
more
I'm
money
still
than
here.
now, almost like a casino with
Can't get rid of
extremely
me
similar
yet.
tactics that are made to get you addicted and turn a profit. Theoretically speaking, under Mojang's own rules, this should be completely forbidden as it's clearly gambling even by Sweden's own definitions of gambling. But it turns out that there's a separate list of hidden terms, just like in the gun case, that allows gambling to take place, which has led to thousands of children getting gambling addictions. I spoke to them.
I was around 8 years old when I first started gambling on Minecraft
Bro.
servers. I wanted the overpowered armor. It was about feeling cool and getting strong. Give me a chance to win an item that you just couldn't win. When I'd win, everybody gave me attention. It was like this rush took over every time I opened a
Yo, chat, I'm watching Broken Script after this. I saw Calvin upload a video. I'm down to watch that. He's always
I
fun.
just couldn't break. They always left me wanting more. It just went downhill from there. I got my dad's credit card and spent any pocket money I'd had. I stole my mom's credit card to buy a I lost everything. Thinking back, I hated me feeling sad and I couldn't break the cycle. Plunged me into a deep depression. It's terrible. And they do this as a Swedish company, where our own government and
What's up,
gambling
Nugget? How we
institutions
doing?
have some of the strictest laws in the world related to gambling that completely bar anyone below 18 years old from playing, even going as far as to requiring bank ID authentication to play a scratch-off ticket. And Mojang just allows it.
It seemed as though the community had this sentiment towards Microsoft and Mojang for a while now, and it was only a matter of time before someone was actually going to take action. The only problem is, it's hard for a single person to go up against a multi-trillion-dollar company, and
Watching Broken Script after this, Chad, don't worry.
After the video's subsequent blow-up, they have managed to raise $127,000 through crowdfunding, as well as get in the position to file a class action lawsuit
Have you ever
against
played Lego
Minecraft
Star
for
Wars?
their
Yes,
breaches
I used to
in
play it all the
contract,
time as a
which
kid.
includes the use of gambling. In fact,
Arian,
if you
what's
go to
up?
the Minecraft
Welcome
usage
back.
guidelines, you can
I
see
remember
that
you
they
from yesterday.
specifically state, do not do anything that would harm or damage our name, brand, or assets. For example, gambling. However, despite this, gambling
Why is that a
everywhere.
lawsuit
It's
against
kind of like if you're
Minecraft? Maybe
playing
they just
Fortnite
don't know
with your
all the
friends
servers
and
out
you
there
had a
because there's
contract
so
that
many
said you
Minecraft
wouldn't
servers.
drop at Tilted Towers,
Like, maybe I'm just
but
being an
every
idiot
single
here,
game you
but
played, you were dropping at Tilted Towers. That just doesn't make any sense. How do they keep on getting away with this? After talking with members of the community,
What's up, nobody?
over the
Yeah, you've
past
been here
week,
for a second. I
it
appreciate
seems as though
that.
many people believe certain servers are in cahoots with Minecraft to allow their servers to operate and rake in millions through gambling that just shouldn't happen. And that's a massive problem. Imagine this scenario. You are a parent and your child asks you if they can hop on and play
What's
some
in the background?
Minecraft.
There's like a
Seems
video
like
like
a normal
exposing like
request,
Skeppy
as
and
Minecraft
Preston
is
for
the
like
most
stuff.
popular
I don't
game
know.
in
I
the
clicked
world.
it.
However, as a parent,
But
you
it's
do
kind of
some
like
extra due
going off
diligence
to
and actually
some
read
random
the
server a
terms of
little bit.
service and usage agreement to
I feel a little
double
bit.
check
It's a
and
good
make sure
video.
that
I
the
do
game
feel a
is
little
safe.
baited though.
And after seeing that it is, you decide to let your kid play the game. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It is ridiculously easy to find these servers that have gambling-like mechanics and are often endorsed by trusted influencers in the space. As a kid, you see your favorite YouTuber on a server and want to get ahead.
Haven't played Wii
when
in a
they
long
start
time.
gambling, you think, I should do this as well. My idol is doing it and it's clearly working for them. This is usually where the trap begins, and many people in this community go from a downward spiral from here, where some people have spent hundreds if not thousands of dollars on these servers just for that extra dopamine rush. Whilst researching this video, I managed to get in contact with Kia to try and understand how this
Do I
lawsuit
play
would
GTA
affect
6 when it
Minecraft
gets out?
and
Yeah, I'll
gambling
play it in
in the
100
game.
years when it
And
comes
well,
out
here's
in
what Kia
10,000
had
years
to
from now.
say.
I think GTA 6 is
Can
just
you
the
sort of
friends we
break
made
down
along the
real
way,
quick
if I'm being
the
honest.
core, allegations you're making that are illegal, especially around underage gambling and things like that in Minecraft?
Oof, there's quite a few. Okay, so there's multiple things and multiple categories, but essentially we have, first off, the gambling, which is a very special case.
Roblox is the most used platform in the world.
Gray
What do you
area,
mean?
but
They're
there's
like,
some technicalities
is it the
that
most
make
played
it not a
game? Do
gray
you have
area.
TikTok? Yeah, Connor
So if
Pugs.
you take the loot boxes,
Instagram,
in the
Snapchat,
public
TikTok, they're all
contract,
just
it
Connor
says that
Pugs. You can follow me
gambling
in
is
there.
strictly forbidden.
I low-key do
But
better
when
on
you
every
actually
platform
look
besides
at
YouTube,
hidden
except
clauses,
TikTok
you
and
see
Facebook.
that
I'm not good at those.
gambling has a hidden clause that allows it in the form of loot boxes. Now, if you look at Spelinspektionen, which is the regulatory authority that manages gambling in Sweden, when you as a Swedish company want to make
All right, peace out,
gambling
Sean.
possible through your platform, you require a license from them. And when you actually look into whether they give a license for something like this, they don't. They have a page that specifically talks
Did anyone
about
hear Coin
online
Collector? I
gambling
used to have
in
the
form of
craziest
loot
coin
boxes,
collection. I don't know where it is now.
CS:GO is
I
given
kind
as
of
a
like
specific
built it up as a
example of
kid.
things they don't give a license for. Now, CS:GO is a bit of an interesting case because the gambling, it doesn't happen inside of the game. It